Hi guys, so back again, and the book that I'm going to be reviewing and discussing this week is called Stray by Alyssa Sussman, and I thought it was a great book, and I would recommend it to anyone that likes the fantasy magic feel. So this book follows Princess Aslan, and she is in this world, and there's it's like the monarchy feel, it has kings, queens, princesses, princes, all that stuff. And in this world there's magic, but the only people that can do magic is women. So none of the men are supposed to be able to do magic. The women are taught that, royal women are taught that the magic is evil and will lead them to do things that they shouldn't do, and that they should their life is supposed to be where they follow their path, which is like, their path is what they're intended to do. Like, princesses are generally intended to marry and continue along their monarchy pathway, but there are instances in which you can get redirected, which when a princess is redirected, you're redirected to being a fairy godmother. And a fairy godmother pretty much cares for a princess and like make sure she has everything that she needs while she learns her duties, such as like sewing and all of the little magical stuff, like how to control her magic. And magical occurrences are really looked down on in their society, and the fairy godmother is also supposed to report any magical occurrences to the headmistress of the school that the princess is at, and she's supposed to log all of these and then pass that on to the princess's husband when she gets married. And there's also instances where a fairy godmother can be redirected into a teacher for fairy godmothers or for princesses, whatever. And it's just a very interesting society about how they're taught that magic is bad. And Princess Aslan, it starts off, normal. She's doing her little princessy things, and she really struggles with, but really wants to stay on her path and get married and dance at the balls and live the life that she's intended to live, that her path says she needs to live. But she is struggling, and she's struggling with her path because she has wicked feelings, which is she wants what she cannot have, which is against the path. And people that stray from the path are called strays, because they are straying from the path. See how it correlates there? And she doesn't want to stray, and she tries really hard not to. But no matter how hard she tries, she can't control the magic that she has in her, and the magic is brought on by wicked thoughts and feelings that she has, and it threatens her path. And very early on in the story, I don't think this is spoilery, because it's kind of intended to happen, she gets redirected because she has an extreme magical occurrence, and it's one of many that have been occurring, and she's lucky she hasn't gotten redirected before, because her fairy godmother has been very kind and hasn't reported all of her instances and has helped her hide them. Anyways, she gets redirected to being a fairy godmother, and that's just crazy, because she doesn't want to be a fairy godmother. She didn't want to stray from her path. She doesn't mean to, but just her mind and heart just won't let her do it. So as a fairy godmother, she gets stripped of her loving heart, so she's not allowed to marry as a fairy godmother. Her life is dedicated to the princess that she's assigned to. And so she gets assigned to monarch Princess Linia, whose aunt is the wicked queen Josetta, who is said to, she was a princess, and she strayed and went and married a commoner and now lives out in the Western Kingdom and is supposedly getting stray women to build up her army. And some serious stuff, like nobody likes Josetta, and she's just a horrible person by all accounts. So Linea's looked down on a lot because of who her family is, and she's kind of shut out by a lot of the other students at the school. So the story follows Aslan and her struggle to follow her path and along the way she discovers that things aren't always what she's been taught. Like, everything that she's been taught, not all of that's true. And Aslan meets this guy named Thackeray, and he's just, he is like one of those people that, like, I can imagine him, I'm like, bro, I want a Thackeray. Like, he's just sweet and kind, and I want a Thackeray. Yeah. So that's basically kind of what it's about. It's following her after she becomes a fairy godmother, because she gets redirected very early on in the story. And I kind of want to talk spoilers, so if you haven't read it, leave now, because I am ready to get into spoilers. Okay, so this book was great. I liked it a lot. I can only give it 4 out of 5 stars because I feel like there were some times where it got slow. Like, there was some times where I'd put it down and wouldn't look at it for a few days, and that's unlike me with a book. But just because I kind of felt like there was some parts where it just got kind of slow, and I'm like, what's the point? And that's another thing that I didn't really care for a whole lot in this book. I was kind of like, what is the point of this book? Like, I understand we're following Aslan and her story, and it's interesting, but what is this all leading up to? And eventually you kind of learn kind of what it's leading up to, but I'm still, even though I finished it, I'm still kind of like, what are we gonna go from here? Because there is a sequel to this book called Burn, but it doesn't follow Aslan. It follows Eleanor, who we meet later on in Stray. But I liked the story, but those aspects made me give it a 4 out of 5 instead of 5 out of 5. That being said, I really liked a lot of aspects of the story. It was very well written, and while it was slow at some points, it was very intriguing. There were some times where I was just, like, flipping pages. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to know what happens next, like, what is going on, and, like, there's things that mind blew me, that all the royals are told that Josetta is so bad and is taking all the strays, and that's not what's happening. It's like misdirection. They're being misguided, and intentionally, to help them stay on the path. And magic's not evil. That's what happens in most, magic isn't evil in most of the other stories, so it makes sense that, it's not evil in this story, they're just being told. So, and, I really like the story. I'm so glad that Aslan and Thackeray, sort of kind of got together, the kind of a thing, at the end. And I was really sad when they were, not talking, because I like Thackeray. But, some of the things that mind blew me about the story was the whole thing with Bridget and Linnea, how they were kind of a lesbian couple. I am not homophobic, but I was like, I just wasn't expecting it. Like, I was thinking Linnea was all obsessed with, her boo thing, and she was like, yes, I get to marry him, but that's just how dedicated she was to maintaining her path. And she fell in love with a servant named Bridget. But they're cute. I ship them. I would love for Linnea to leave what's-his-name and just go live her life with Bridget, because that would be really freaking cute. And what is Advisor Hole's problem? I feel like this book just left me with a lot of questions that I don't feel like were answered, and I'm ordering Stray. I'm ordering Burn, and I really hope that Burn, even though it follows Eleanor, that it will reveal some answers to some of the questions that I have from Stray. And I hope that we get to see more of Aslan, even maybe not in Burn, but maybe in another book that follows the Four Sisters novel. I would like to see more Aslan, because I was looking on Goodreads after I finished it, and someone reviewed it and said that it ended as the way that a standalone should, but it's nice that it has a companion to it. And I was like, I don't really agree. I feel like I got left with a lot of questions at the end of Stray. Like, that couldn't, if that ended as, like, not part of a series, I would be pissed. Because, like, there's just so much stuff that I'm confused. I'm like, how the heck can Advisor Hole have magic, number one? Because that's a woman thing. Woman thing. Why is he there? And why is everybody blaming stuff on Josetta? Like, why they gotta blame stuff on her? Like, yeah, she's bad, but I don't know. There's just a lot of questions that are unanswered, and I hope to get explained further on. Okay, so that's it. The next book that I hope to be reviewing is Duff, Designated Ugly Fat Friend. So, I love the book, the movie, so I'm hoping I'm going to love the book. So, till next time, bye guys!